tree into a money tree.
What up, what up, what up, y'all? I am your girl Candy, and I'm about to speak on it. So, where do I begin? Okay, let me start off with, first of all, I am not at home. I'm not in Atlanta. I am actually in LA, so hence the hotel room. Anyway, there is a lot to get into in this episode. There's so much going on because my mind is like all over the place because like literally we just did the reunion a couple days ago and I had to actually watch, I think, was it 4 or 5 episodes back to back. So I'm praying and hoping that I do not take something from a future episode and talk about it in this Speak on It that didn't happen yet. Okay, so bear with me now. Okay, I'm just gonna go based off of the previews that I'm showing people post this week because like when you see all these episodes together, it just kind of like make everything just blend it because this is too much. Too much. Anyway, let me start here. So we're going to New Orleans, right? And Drew has decided that she wants to host a trip and basically show how trip hosting should be done since there was so much drama about the last trip and how the host, meaning Kenya, and I guess Toya wasn't really officially a host, but, you know, she was hanging out with the hostess. Basically saying, you know, it wasn't really done correctly the last time, so I'm going to show y'all how, you know, it should be done. So, unfortunately for myself, no, not unfortunately, honey. Let me rethink that. I mean, I'm kind of glad that I was unavailable to ride down there with them to New Orleans because that meant I was booked and busy. I was booked to do a movie called Envy.
911, what's the nature of your emergency?
And it's actually about to air this month, well, this coming month. And I was shooting when the girls were going down to New Orleans. But just to let you guys know that Envy will be premiering on Lifetime April 24th at 8 p.m. So I really, really pray and hope that you all support this movie. Check it out. I'm super excited about it. Everybody knows that acting is something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and I really have been seriously focused on it for the last couple of years. So this is big for me, you know. Lifetime. I forever have been watching movies on Lifetime and sitting there all day just getting stuck on Lifetime with the movies that I've been seeing. So to know that I'll be in one of those movies that other people will be watching, I'm super excited about it. I'm going to give you more on that on another Speak on It or something in the future, but for right now, I'm just giving you a little tease, okay? We're just going to get a little tease.
Envy.
So unfortunately, I wasn't able to ride with the girls and I had to miss the first day of the trip, right? But the girls started off with little bits and pieces of drama. So let's get into that. Drew, her being the hostess with the mostest.
Drew Sadora.
You know, when they first got there, you know, she had the New Orleans bands and everything, which was all that was good. It was a great welcoming and all of that was cute. But then, you know, of course, you know, Kenya brought Brooklyn. We all know that Kenya travels with Brooklyn, which is fine. You know, we got through that it was established prior to on the last trip. So you know that she was going to bring on this trip. But this time around, Drew went ahead and let everybody know that if they wanted to bring their kids, they could. And of course, nobody else brought their kids. So to Kenya's point, she's like, okay, you know, y'all talk all that trash about me, but even when you can bring your kids, you don't bring your kids.
I have a baby. Guess where my baby sleep at? Not with me. Yes.
Basically, I guess everybody felt like, well, at least we want the option to say we can bring our kids if we want to.
Yes.
But this is a girls' trip, and no, they did not bring their kids. We're gonna move past that. So that was the first thing. Second thing was, which I guess we're gonna have to take a note to self for right now, because this will come up again later on. Okay, Marlo, she keeps talking about,
oh, my back, my neck and my back. My nephew jumped on my back and so I'm in pain. I cannot go hang out with you girls. I cannot ride bikes with you girls. I cannot do this or that with you girls.
because of all this pain that she was supposedly having from her quote unquote back injury from her nephew jumping on her back. And I'm just telling you right now, you have to keep that in the back of your head because it will come back up later. Okay. So listen. So here's the tea. After that, I don't know about y'all, but did y'all notice how LaToya came on the trip all of a sudden? She not drinking. Now, we all know that is strange, okay? Because LaToya partakes in a little drinkish drink every here and again, now and again, and that is most of the time when the girls are together hanging out and having fun, right? Drew and Toya, they came into this trip supposedly in a better place because apparently Drew and Toya had went to church together, did something together outside of the group that we did not see. This was not on TV, not around cameras. They linked up some kind of way, hung out, went to church together. I guess it was after the niece's party that this situation happened. So I don't really know the full information, and I don't, all we know is from what they told us, because this is not anything that was on film. Like, this little friendship that was going on was super quick, and it came as fast as it went. It was like on the trip in South Carolina.
Don't listen to her. She don't care about husbands.
They was acting all,
Drew, can we talk about your struggling husband?
like they was ready to fight each other. But then as the girls' night out, they was being extra friendly with each other. And then they went back to being at odds. Then they went to the niece's party, became cool.
She want it. Get it.
And then was the niece's party before or after the Halloween? Right, I can't remember. But anyway, then after the niece's party, they almost seemed like they wanted to fight at the niece's party.
I don't personally care.
You do care.
Why would I care?
Because at dinner, you said Drew was being inappropriate with the stripper. Don't say my name and keep my name out your mouth. And I'm dead serious about that. Yeah, I was on Bolo.
But then after the niece's party, Drew drove her home, or her driver drove her home.
And then not to mention, I can go on and on. I gave her a ride home, Candy. Like, she was drunk out of her mind, and I gave this girl a ride home. We went in her home, we prayed for her, prayed for her mom. Like, it was a whole, like, come on. Like, what person wouldn't receive that?
Y'all, it's such a weird situation because Drew says she had this that was also her that lived with her and her husband in their house. But what I do know, as you guys know, that Drew has decided she wants to keep bugging Toya about why she not drinking. So she keeps going,
why you not drinking? Why you not drinking? Why you not drinking? Why you not drinking?
And Toya's like, because I don't want to drink. I don't feel like drinking. I don't want to drink, and then she just kept like kind of pushing her, and it was coming off to me, I don't know about everybody else, but it was coming off to me weird because it's like, why are you stressing this girl out about if she don't want to drink or not? Like, leave her alone. Leave her alone.
You don't even know her.
I mean, and she kept doing it, which was just strange to me. I didn't understand it. I was like, what are you? Yeah, it was like, what are you doing? Are you testing her to spirituality? Because at the end of the day, you were the main one talking about the fact that she drinks too much, and everybody was going on and on about, how Toya sometimes acts when she gets a little too much to drink.
Girl threw up in my toilet. I helped her out, got her some bread, pulled her hair back. Now, when somebody gets drunk and they throw up in your toilet and you pull their hair back, that is a sign of like a good friend. Somebody that's willing to be there with you when you're over the toilet, helpless. That's a good friend. I would be appreciative of someone like that.
So if she's not drinking, why is that a problem? I'm so confused. Like, that was just odd. Very odd. What all the different reasons is of why or why not she decides not to drink. She's just like, I'm just not drinking. I just don't want to deal with it. But clearly we see that Drew is trying to put her on blast on something. And I'm just going to say, going forward, we will find this out because apparently Drew is trying to put Toya on blast about something.
I mean, there's just people that are just Delilahs,
Okay. Then, so she just done pushed this girl to get upset, and now now Toya decides she wants to leave their dinner and didn't even want to hang out with them no more for the rest of that night because she just kind of felt like, you know, you stressing me with these people for what? So it just put them back in this friction. And then you also have this whole situation between Marlo and Portia. So apparently, as viewers, and to be honest with you, I don't even think I really noticed it immediately when I was there. But as viewers, as we're watching the show, we see the change in how Portia felt about Marlo.
It's in front of my princess. Hi, P. How are you? Pastor P. I ain't in a prayer mood.
As soon as Marlo and Kenya became friends in Charleston.
It's like, hey, I can definitely show you respect.
Right?
Okay.
It really became apparent because after Charleston, you know, Portia wasn't really calling Marlo really like that no more. She wasn't really talking to her at all, according to Marlo.
Since Kenya and I did makeup, it's like, ooh, let's back off from Marlo. We don't trust her.
And she was just treating her real distant. I mean, she talked about that at the pumpkin patch, and she talked about it at the party that, you know, Portia had been treating her different. And so Marlo was feeling away because she feels like, you know, if we friends, like, why are you acting like that? Like, why are you automatically assuming because, you know, I'm being cool with Kenya now that, you know, like I'm going to do you dirty in some kind of way. It was just this weird energy going on between the two of them. Marlo, Portia, they come on this trip. That weird energy has followed them to New Orleans. And at this point, Portia decides she wants to have this conversation with Marlo.
I just want to talk.
And, you know, let's go ahead and talk this through.
Your movement has changed being a friend to me.
So they do that.
And will you invited somebody there?
I didn't invite anyone to it.
Well,
she called and asked could she come.
Child!
And I said, you know what? Get out of all that, Marlo. Let your guards down. Listen to this girl.
They started talking.
If the night you decided to make friends with her was the night she came and made that accusation.
I don't understand it, really. They started having this discussion.
Because you are my friend and she wants to pull you on her side, and here you go.
So I didn't understand why Marlo is getting so offended and feeling like
You're not respecting me as a friend.
her friend wasn't, you know, being there for her
Why has our relationship changed since South Carolina, Portia? Why?
and wasn't doing this and that. And then she put Portia on the spot and was like, well, did you do it?
And I'm going to ask you, everything she said, was it false?
And then, you know, Portia was sitting there like,
Please.
well,
If you was my friend, you shouldn't even have to ask me that.
maybe if you was my friend, you shouldn't even ask me that on this camera. Maybe that's what that meant. like, literally, like, girl, we got a whole camera sitting right here, and you gonna put me on the spot like that in front of this camera? Like really? And you call yourself my friend?
I haven't told Kenya any of your personal business, so I'm really uncomfortable and stuck right now.
That's the way I took it. But of course, Portia says no.
So since Marlo's moving different, I think it's you and Kenya about to come and team up on me, basically.
That's the way she felt. She felt like Marlo is joining up with Kenya to, you know, kind of like team up on her. That's the way she was, you know, talking in the conversation, basically.
Do understand. I do not give a if you're her friend, okay?
I don't know why it seemed like Marlo was the only one she had an issue with for the whole "it wasn't me" video, because nobody else, it seemed like she didn't really seem to have a problem with nobody else doing it other than Kenya. But she just was like, okay, let's go on and talk this through and get this over with type of thing. They ended the conversation and it seemed like they were going to be in a better place. But I don't know, because at the dinner that night, it went totally left.
Nobody has brought you into anything.
And talk to me about each other.
It went like, Child, I can tell you they ain't friends at all now. I just left a reunion, honey. They are not friends, okay? I can give you that tea, honey. They are not friends at all. At least for now. I'm not going to say that they can't change. I can't say that, but for the time being, no. Now, the other thing Lil Jamie, since you asked me about...
I'm like, okay, my second time on a private jet. I can get used to this life having these rich friends, honey.
They showed her stop by my studio, and they showed that scene as a really quick scene, but she and I actually did discuss what happened at the Halloween party, and I told her that was foul. What LaToya did to Fallon in her own home was super disrespectful. All the girls felt that way. You see them talking to her about it at the dinner in New Orleans. I mean, at whatever, they went to lunch or something in New Orleans. They all went and they all told her, you know, like, that was disrespectful. Like, you can't just be in somebody's house telling, you know, talking about their husband and just talking trash in a person's house and think that it's not gonna go left. Like, that was not cool. No kind of way. Now, LaToya, I love her to death. You know, that's my homegirl. I'm the one who asked her to even be a part of this little situation that we're doing right now. Her personality can be way over the top sometimes.
That's shade.
Which, you know, clearly she gives great TV, honey. It's like she genuinely does these things with no remorse. And it's like so crazy sometimes because you be feeling like you didn't see nothing wrong with what you did. Like, you really thought that was okay. You know, I changed my mind, y'all. I'm going to let LaToya come speak on it. You know, she had me pissed off a little bit a couple weeks ago when I said I wasn't going to let her come on here. But I definitely am going to let her come on. She had stood me up a couple times. That's why I was saying she couldn't come back. But now I've gotten over it. She will come back and she will speak on it. Like, she really be feeling like justified sometimes into some of the stuff that she says or does. You know what I mean? She was, you know...
I feel like I should have sued her. She was coming after me, acting ghetto with a golf club and, you know, this, and that. I wish she would have hit me. I would have sued her and I would have been owning that house, hunty.
You know how she be talking. Like, she was so serious and was not hearing anything that I was saying about her behavior and how she was acting in that lady's house, meaning Fallon's house. But I wouldn't have said nothing different than what they said because I felt the same way. I felt like, you know, LaToya, you my girl, but that just was disrespectful. You got both of us looking crazy right now because I done brought you here and you over here acting a fool. Those were the main stories.
Did they have any fun?
They rode bikes through New Orleans, but the thing about it is Marlo couldn't ride bikes because her was hurt. Everything was going smoothly at first, but that's all our trips. You know, it started off smooth. Like nothing in the world I can't do. I got both eyes open like sandals. And the next thing you know, all hell breaks loose.
So then you're Portia's lapdog.
I ain't nobody talking to you. Calm down. Go back to sleep.
Well, subscribe, like, share, comment, you know, tell all your friends, you know, all about it. You know, if you have things that you want to know, please go back, watch a lot of the old Speak On It. I promise you, you will get some tea and information that you may not have ever heard or did not know that was going on. Because the people come on here and they get to say things and reveal things that, you know, they don't really get to say on the show or anywhere else because we try not to edit people too much. If the show is too long, that's when we have to cut it down. But we don't try to edit people, like change their opinion or cut anything out that was important that they needed to say. Make sure you go to the playlist that we have for Speak On It and go back and look at all the old Speak On It so you can see. And then, mind you now, they get on Speak On It and tell the truth. And then they may go somewhere else and then they don't want to tell everything that they said before, but it's already on here on Speak On It. Subscribe, like, share, comment, do all that good stuff. And thank you for watching Speak On It.
I had already heard.
I can turn a shade tree into a money tree.